3, 2, 1. Push. Oh my God, that's cold.
Wow.
That felt good because it is steaming hot here in the bunker, in the podcast studio. I am Miles, the You Betcha Guy, here with Ryan, the T-shirt guy. We're You Betcha Radio, the coldest podcast in all of the Midwest. We're thinking we're going to have a little bit shorter podcast for you.
It's hot in
One,
here.
because it's hot. Two, because Ryan just got done with the flu.
I was bedridden for like 32 hours.
Yep, he's bedridden.
We should have done the podcast. I should have
From the bed.
Yeah, I should have videoed in.
We could have had a puke break for you, but this is going to be a shorter podcast. Let's get into the show.
I would venture to say it's almost the nectar of the gods. Back, baby, back. I want my push. Oh my God, that's cold.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 27. We've gotten into the habit of naming podcasts. The last one was the boat podcast. This one is just this is the muggy podcast.
The short and sweaty is what I'm calling it.
Like Little Caesars hot and
ready, but it's short and sweaty.
and I normally call them hot and sweaties.
Yeah.
But this will be the short and sweaty podcast, episode 27.
Well, what's funny is it sounds like when they're naming the Friends episodes, it's like the one where so-and-so does this. That's how we're going to start naming these podcasts.
Yeah, the short and sweaty. What's cool is it's been a couple podcasts, I feel like, since I've been able to plug some t-shirts on the website.
Yep.
So guys, we have all of the merchandise open. That's the current Casey's, well, not the current gas station design, based off of our favorite breakfast pizza.
Yep.
As well as all the past designs.
Classic Ryan, just we're trying to avoid dropping any names so we can avoid any sort of legal action, and he just drops the name right away.
We'll bleep
you were
it
talking
out.
about your cousin, right?
My cousin Casey.
Your cousin makes great pizza.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have the new design out. We have all of the previous designs. Those are open on the website, www.oubetcha.com. And we also put out another banger of a video today. Dads during the summer. So make sure you go check that one out. We might get a little bit into that today.
Yep.
That's on all of our social channels at oubetcha. Go check them out. The page has been spreading like wildfire. We just did a podcast 3 weeks to a month ago celebrating 100,000 likes.
But yeah, followers.
100,000 followers.
Yeah, we're probably getting close to 145,000 followers now. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, so that is crazy.
So when you initially put the dad video today, I'm not going to get too deep into it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but what were your thoughts on just pushing that out the door, and how did you come up with a lot of those little bits?
Well, before we get into that, Ryan, I want to talk to you guys about UMotors, Motorsports Marine, located in Fargo, North Dakota, and Pelican Lake, Minnesota. They have all of the best brands: Honda, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Can-Am, the Teak boats, Super boats, Supreme boats.
All the boats.
All of the boats. And also Avalon pontoons. Great for boating around and drinking bush lattes.
I was trying to keep this podcast short and sweaty, but I screwed up. I screwed up the most important part. The guys at UMotors.
You can find UMotors on all their social medias or at umotorsinc.com. That's umotorsinc.com, spelled UMotors.com. If you mention this ad, you get 20% off parts and accessories. Some exclusions may apply. They are great guys over at UMotors, guys and gals. So if you're looking for a new boat, new jet ski, give them a holler. There's still time left in the summer to utilize that boat. So give those guys a call.
Yeah, I'm still trying to.
Ryan's still in puke mode, is where he's at right now. I forgot all about that.
I'm also in a stand-up jet ski mode right now.
That's true. So right now he's wearing our 4th of July jersey tank, and he's still in 4th of July mode.
Yep.
It's nice for you to show up today. I didn't know if you were going to come. I thought you were still on the beach tanning, but
I made it.
So the dad video, it was really fun to do because my sister actually called me today, and she said, she literally goes, so that video was called Dads During Summer. You could have just called it My Dad During Summer, because basically it wasn't that hard to come up with stuff for the video, because I just took what my dad did growing up and just put it into a video. I don't know if you felt that, or if you felt that 100%. Your dad was,
so I have really young parents. I also have really young grandparents, and that was more relatable to my grandpa. Who spent a ton of time with us when we were younger. Yep. Watched us during the day when parents were at work. So I saw a lot of that in my grandpa, with the shoes and playing basketball and
I'll be honest. So what I did when I bought those New Balance shoes. So if you haven't seen this video, you got to go watch it. But basically, I bought the classic white New Balance dad shoes, and these things came in just blazing white. We're talking like the whitest of all white. And you've all seen that dad that gets a fresh pair and he's flaunting it around wherever he's going. But I wanted this to look like these are my yard work New Balances. So when I ordered them, there was option for regular, wide, and extra wide. I believe that's got to be like the only shoe on planet Earth that comes in extra wide. So obviously I ordered the extra wide because I wanted the full experience.
Yep.
But these things came out blazing white. So literally I had to make them look like I used them a lot. So I took them and I just found a dirt patch, and I just started rubbing them in the dirt patch, not knowing if it was going to work or not. And I pulled it up and I was like, these literally look like a dad has worn these for like 3 years. So that worked out pretty nice. I had to get the grass stains on there, you name it.
I think New Balance should really capitalize on putting like a grass graphic on the side of the shoe. You got like blades of grass coming up from the sole. That would be like ultimate yard working.
Yeah, well,
shoes.
just like a fade from the sole of the shoe, just fades green up into the shoe at all times.
Yep.
That I honestly think that they should do that. So New Balance, hit us up. I'll be the poster child for your campaign to get these sold. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more content with the New Balances. I kind of fell in love with them. I get why dads love those shoes. They are very comfy. They're extra wide. They're pretty great. So I have nothing to complain about in the dad world so far.
Yeah, and as much as I would love to get into my favorite parts, I think you should just go watch it at OU Betcha.
Yep.
It's been a good video so far and super relatable too. Every dad or grandpa out there has done it. It's bit after bit after bit. Everyone has done at least 4 to 6.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, and I always love seeing the comments of stuff that I left out that I actually think is really funny as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to read those comments and do that. What are some things growing up that your dad did that you didn't realize was ridiculous until you got like out of it and started meeting other families and all of that?
Man.
So one thing that my dad did, I'll kick it off.
Yeah.
And maybe other people did this, but I thought it was, it was just a normal thing. And then I like got out and was like, God, that's really crazy and weird that he did that. My dad kept a 5-gallon bucket in his closet. And so like most people have a change jar. He would throw all of his change in this 5-gallon bucket. And he would fill up the entire 5-gallon bucket of change and then bring it to the bank and like walk out of the bank with like $1,000.
Well, yeah, like father, like son. He's a gas station guy. He comes back with change every day. Yeah. If you like gas stations as much as we do, you should have a large change jar that you can treat yourself at the end of the year by going to cash that baby in.
Yep. There's literally like a gnat or a fruit fly in here. So that's annoying.
Go get yourself some good breakfast pizza with the extra cash and have a good weekend.
Yep. I don't know. Is that ridiculous to have a full 5-gallon bucket?
Well, because normally people have like the oversized plastic pop bottles.
Right.
Like it's not actually a pop bottle, but it's like the oversized, like big plastic.
Oh, you're
top.
talking about like they're actually 4 coins.
Yes.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Whenever I'd go to a friend's house when I was younger, I was always so jealous
that they had the big thing of change.
Like, you don't have that much change.
Yeah.
Your parents are filling that thing for you.
Right. Well, that goes back to another issue is the kids who got allowances growing up.
Oh man.
Did you get an allowance?
Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to think of like odd stuff my dad has done, but I can't really put my thumb on it. But one thing that my dad made us do was he owned a landscaping business for 10 years.
Yep.
And he had probably 300 to 400 plants in our backyard. He didn't have like a storage shed or like an extra piece of property he kept his stuff on.
You guys just had a full like landscaping business in just your backyard.
Yeah, and we had a pretty big backyard, so it worked out well.
Yeah.
But it was our responsibility, my brothers and I, to water those plants every single day.
Free labor, right?
No, we actually got paid hourly.
Oh, okay. So, that's nice.
Oh yeah, we were screwing around. You know, we
I don't feel bad for you at all anymore. You got paid.
But I had to work for it. I didn't just get an allowance like, hey, here's $20 for the week.
Yeah. So what we had to do, it was the worst. About once a month, we'd have to spend an entire summer afternoon picking weeds out of the landscaping at our place.
We did the same thing.
So hopefully other people can relate to this. My classic patented move was I try to get the roots out, right? That's the goal with a weed. You try and get deep down in there and you pull that root off. But about 1 in every like 6, you end up just popping the top off on accident and there's the root there. And I was notorious for just doing one of these, looking left and right. Oh God, fruit fly in my face. Looking left and right and then just taking the rocks that were there and just pushing it over the weed and look like I pulled the weed.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it's weird because we had to do this yard work when we were younger, and my dad he wanted to do the business for 10 years. He shut her down. It's tough on the body. He had done it for 20 years before that. And I'm like, Dad, how come you didn't ever consider like handing over the business or keeping it for my brother and I? He goes, when you guys were watering plants when you were younger, I knew right then and there you weren't going to take this business over.
Is that a hit to your ego a little bit, Ryan?
Kind of, but I also don't want to water plants like that.
Yeah.
But it's weird because now that I have my own yard, I take a lot of pride in making sure that baby looks nice.
I know what you're saying.
I'm doing different designs like in the yard.
The new truck I got.
Yep.
I'm in that car wash like every week.
Yeah. Well, you did it right and you got the monthly car wash subscription.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll even go twice a week.
Yeah.
And the unlimited, it definitely pays for itself. You roll up looking like a boss in your clean truck. But I totally get the like taking ownership in your yard.
Yep.
Yeah, but your fiance is also kind of crazy about the yard too, isn't she?
She's more about the plants.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm more about the grass. She's more about the plants.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that a little bit more. We're going to take our first break. And I want to talk a little bit about the landscaping at your house, Ryan. Okay, Ryan, before the break, we were talking about how you take pride in the lawn and more of just the overall landscaping.
The aesthetic of it.
Yep. And your fiance takes a lot of pride in the flowers.
Yep.
Plants.
Yep.
My question is, when do women... It doesn't have to be women. It's 2019. I can't say that. But when do women start all of a sudden knowing a lot about flowers and plants and also like caring about it? Because like my mom knows how much to water certain plants, what if she can look at a plant and know what kind of plant it is. And I'm like sitting there like I have absolutely no idea. But at what points do they gain that knowledge? Because I know women that are like my age or younger that like they couldn't tell you anything like that. But all of a sudden, women just acquire this knowledge. Where does it come from?
I feel like it's always present in them. It's a generational thing, right? So like you never... That's an interesting question. I always feel like it's passed down from generation to generation. Like my fiance's mom is super into plants, landscape, flowers, all that kind of stuff. So she saw her doing it when she was younger. And, she probably wasn't into it much when she was living in a college dorm or like a townhome. It's third, fourth year in college. But now that she has her own place, she's like, oh, so now I get to start.
You can apply this knowledge.
Yes.
I like to imagine that it's one of those things that's just dormant in female DNA, right? So like when we all get to puberty, our body starts to change. When women get married and have a house, their intellect changes to knowing a lot about flowers and plants. I just imagine that.
Here's a funny story. So we were adding a couple plants into the landscape, and one of them died right away. So Meg calls her mom and she goes, "Hey, why did this plant die? Like I had watered it." She's like, "Oh, well, that's a, let's hypothetically, that's a hosta. You're not supposed to plant that on the sun side of the house."
Jesus.
So right there, her mom knew that. Like it's a trial error thing. It's a generational thing. So now Meg knows to not plant, again, hostas, whatever,
on the sun side
of the house. So
I'll be honest, I have no idea what a hosta is.
I've heard it a ton. If you said, point out the hostas in the landscape, I couldn't tell you.
That is just like so like standard for dudes, right?
Yeah.
It's just like we hear certain phrases and all of that. Like you hear
it, yeah.
You hear mascara. You're not entirely sure where to put mascara. You know it goes on a woman's face.
So like is mascara
foundation? I imagine is probably the first makeup you put on your face. But I couldn't tell you for sure.
Does mascara go on with a brush? Does it go on with do
you squirt it on? Do you squirt it on?
We know what it is, but we don't know that.
Dip your face in something to get mascara on? I have no idea. These are the type of things that are not in our DNA. I feel like
if you ask me to, hey, do you have crabgrass in your yard? Like, oh yeah,
boom,
this patch over here?
Know what it is.
Yeah, this is the crabgrass I got going, but. What's really nice is the previous homeowners of ours had a full sprinkler system, and we're in the middle of town, so we have
that's a big time a positive to buying a house.
It is full sprinkler system. You can look at the line that I draw with my mower on our edge of the property to my neighbors. It's like crisp, like a golden brown green on my neighbors, and it's just plush green on my side. So we have
now confirmed that Ryan is a full-fledged lawn snob just by talking crap about his neighbor's yard on the podcast.
I mean, my yard would look like that if I didn't have a sprinkler system. But
you mean you wouldn't get one of those sprinkler heads that hooks up to the hose? That's a tractor.
I love that.
Moves on its own.
Yep.
I always was so fascinated with those as a kid. I was like, how does that work? I do not understand how that works.
Because it moves at a
ridiculously
pace.
slow pace.
Yeah.
But the water's coming out at just high speeds.
Mm-hmm. Those are the best.
That's another thing I would like for people to explain to me, just like the firecracker thing. How on earth does a tractor sprinkler head work? I don't get it. I would love to open one of those babies up and just see the mechanics inside of it.
I don't know if there is anything inside of it. I think it has very big like tread on the tires, like plastic tread that but how do the tires move?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Ryan. Another moment where it doesn't make any sense. I do not get it.
Because there's no electric plug-in.
Ryan, it's just all water powered. So it's got to all be mechanisms inside of the tractor. I would like to open up one of those and see what's going on the inside.
There's probably people listening to this podcast are like, how do these guys not know this?
How are these guys have any sort of following on the internet? They are idiots. But honestly, I have no idea how that works. So
question of the day.
That is the question of the day. How on earth does a tractor sprinkler head move and work? Because it doesn't make any sense. This is the short and sweaty and fruit fly podcast. We must have left like some food out or something that these babies are in here.
Probably.
That's just the way it goes, Ryan. But yeah, I always found that fascinating. But what was funny is my mother understands style and design really well. And she's the classic, like if my dad wanted to wear New Balance shoes, she'd be like, you're not wearing that because you look like too much like a dad.
Yep.
Which I don't think is a bad thing. Basically, she likes my dad to look like a hip dad versus just the classic dad move.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll ever see my dad in a pair of New Balances. And it probably scars my mother to watch that video. But that being said, the same type of thing, my family just wasn't tractor sprinkler head people.
Sure.
And so when I saw friends that had it, I was so jealous.
We
I
were,
was
yeah,
like,
we definitely had one.
And I think it just depends on family and family. I mean, we had all the other sprinkler heads. We just never had a tractor one. And I was just always like, God, that's so sweet.
The classic.
Because you stick it on the hose, right?
Yep. The classic dull yellow with the white wheels.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Whoever came up with that has done a great job. It'd be cool if they dropped in a comment and brought us exactly through how these things work. What if the founder of the tractor sprinkler was a fan of the page?
Is there like a specific brand that we need to be talking about?
I don't know.
That would be so funny if even for one podcast we got them to sponsor the podcast for the tractor sprinkler heads. That would be so funny. I would love that, but it's probably not gonna happen.
Probably not gonna happen.
But whatever. Sadly, I'm not a homeowner yet, Ryan, so I cannot participate in lawn talk very well. Obviously, growing up, I had to mow the lawn and participate in landscaping and all that for our house. But in current situation, I am not a homeowner, so I can't weigh in too much. But
yeah, there are weeds growing at the edge of the shop driveway. Is that what you'd call it?
Yeah, those must have just appeared though, because it hasn't been there for very long.
Yeah, I got some Roundup at home if you'd like to borrow some.
Oh, okay. So that's another thing we need to talk about, Ryan. People are dying from Roundup.
Okay.
What are you okaying?
I don't even think we want to get into this. They're not dying from Roundup.
There's an outbreak of people who have used Roundup and have side effects.
They say they're
that
getting
can be
cancer,
deadly.
right? They say they're getting cancer.
Yep.
The amount of Roundup that you would have to physically open up and drink for you to get deathly ill is astronomical.
Bush burp. So I'm with you. I'm just saying, I am just reporting
I know
what the news says, Ryan. So, okay, what I love about this is Ryan is the classic. So I grew up not necessarily in a rural area where I'm like directly associated with farming. I am a concrete product, not a farming product. Both very tough manual labor, but totally different realms, right? And every time I bring up a topic about something that is either fertilizer or a crop or anything like that, Ryan just gets this look in his eye and he wants to fight me. It's unbelievable. I've never seen that look. I could literally insult your fiance, your mother, everyone that you know, and you would be like, haha, nice one, Miles. And then I'd bring up something about how fertilizer is not good for the environment, and you would want to rip my head off. You would want to rip my head off. I've never seen anyone like that before.
I'm marrying into a very large farm family.
And I get that. I'm all for, I'm on board with the classic that I like to think about is they take planes and over cities, they spray for mosquitoes, and everyone's okay with them spraying this chemical over the entire city that we're at. But they're not okay with spraying fertilizer that's been cleared as okay to consume and all that. Like, I'm on board with that.
Yep.
But I like to just bring it up because you get so worked up about people hating it.
People on the internet are just,
Oh my God, that's cold. People on the internet, you were saying?
Yeah, that's all I have to say is people on the internet, man.
SMH.
One of the funniest conspiracy theories that I like to hear about is when planes fly over, they leave a trail, essentially like a smoke trail, whatever.
Jet trail, jet
stream.
fuel, jet stream, fuel, whatever.
There are people out there that believe that is called a chemtrail, in which there are chemicals in the let's just say in the fuel of the plane. It puts out this gas that's like, it's kind of like natural selection. So that those fumes will come down eventually onto mainland and they will weed people out. They'll get sick, they'll die, and then just repeat the process over.
Yeah,
they call them chemtrails.
I'm one of the strong ones, so I'm totally on board with that. I believe I can withstand jet fuel runoff and survive. I believe I can.
I didn't think I was going to survive this 32-hour bug.
You realize that there's people out there that think that cow farts are polluting the air and ruining the ozone layer. You realize that, Ryan?
Yeah. It's kind of the same concept.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
On the topic of like getting sick and stuff, did you hear about
you getting the flu this weekend?
Yeah. So originally what I thought had happened was, I think last weekend or over the 4th, maybe the 4th was last weekend. Holy smokes.
I don't know. It's at all. No, it was 2 weekends ago.
Okay. So
2 weeks ago.
Over that weekend, there was a big party on, I think, like Lake Minnetonka out in Minnesota.
Yep.
And there were a bunch of boats pulled up to a certain spot. Like everyone was out partying or whatever.
About this, yeah.
And a bunch of over 100 people got sick because people were like pissing in the water, and I don't know, someone shit in the water, what the deal was. But
someone left a floater in the water.
So there's
Plastic floater.
There's all this bacteria, and a bunch of people got sick from it. Now,
God, just think. Okay, pause.
Okay,
just think about that sandbar that everyone's at and pissing and shitting in.
Oh man,
is like literally just walking around in a giant porta potty.
Yeah, so
how disgusting is that?
If you're in like knee or like thigh high water and you see someone drop to your knees, get out.
Yep, get away from there.
Get out. But that was the situation I was in on Saturday. We were at like this big.
You were walking around in a porta potty?
Well, no, essentially like a lake and like a lake porta potty. Is what it was.
A big sandbar with a bunch of boats.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were in that situation, and I literally thought I had like some bacteria sickness from people pissing in the water.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm victim of it. I'm victim of it.
Well, again,
I
that goes
urinated in the water.
Well, that goes back to natural selection. You clearly got taken down by that, where I would just thrive in that environment, purely off of Darwinism and natural selection. So
just like strong genes,
strong DNA,
strong gut health.
Like the White Truth says, we need desalinization stations where you just like rub your hands in like dirt and poop and mud, and so you get your immune system gets used to being exposed to that. So
so I thought I was getting broken down by the natural selection bacteria at the sandbar.
Maybe you need to vacuum about just maybe once a month instead of like 3 times a month, Ryan.
A vacuum?
Really? Yep. You just start there, right? You get more dust in your system. Yeah.
Sure.
Just start building up that immune system, since clearly your immune system is so entirely weak.
Yeah. Maybe I
don't want you to die on me.
Grow my fingernails out for like a month straight.
Yep. Grow
Think
them
of
out.
the shit that gets under there.
Yeah, and then just at the end of the month, you just chew them all off and get all that bacteria inside your mouth.
Man, I'd be a strong boy.
Yeah. So someday you'll get to our level, Ryan. Us superior humans. Us strong, gened humans that do not get sick. Now watch in like 3 days, I'm going to be like, Ryan, I'm dying. I can't speak. I'm sick.
We got to go to the Ozarks in a week and a half, so you better not.
Let's talk about that a little bit as we keep going on the short podcast, which is funny because it's probably not going to end up as a short. Ryan is sweating. I think you still are sick. Are you breaking your fever?
I'm still sick.
I think you're breaking your fever. We're going to the Ozarks, ladies and gentlemen, July 27th. We're going to be at Shady Gators on Lake Ozark. I heard it's a crazy party bar. It's like, I'm so excited because it's going to be so fun. David Lee Murphy, believe it or not, the guy who sings Dust on the Bottle. He has a song, Kenny Chesney. He's going to be performing live at Shady Gators. There's going to be, if you attend, you get a free Busch Latte, believe it or not. And there's going to be a cornhole tournament, not very formal, I don't think. I think you sign up on the day of and do your thing. It's a couple hours long.
Yeah, it's not like You Betcha Palooza formal.
It's not like a crazy, amazing cornhole tournament like You Betcha Palooza.
Like 50 teams, double elim.
Yeah, we're not doing that again.
No. That's a different.
Hey, don't ruin my day by talking about You Betcha Palooza 2, okay? So we'll be there July 27th. You got to come by. You got to come say what's up to the You Betcha boys. I just coined that phrase right there.
Wow.
The You Betcha boys. I'm a little excited I just said that, Ryan. Does that feel good?
Feels really good.
You realize that this is like a coronation for Ryan right now.
Yep.
He's gone from Ryan the t-shirt guy to one of the You Betcha boys.
Wow.
But if you want to continue to be the You Betcha boy, you got to start putting out more content, Ryan. Okay.
Hey, I just put a photo out.
You
Me
did.
and
I
Kate-
love that.
Hey, it got a really good interaction too.
Yeah.
Like all my
Go
photos.
check
do.
out Ryan's page. He's talking about eating gas station pizza on his page. But you need to come check us out at Lake of the Ozarks. It's going to be such a fun time. It's not your classic bar takeover. It's more of like, this is just going to be a party of everyone drinking Busch Light, having a phenomenal time. The weather is going to be crazy, so make sure you hydrate. Make sure you wear your sunscreen.
Make sure you don't pee too much in the water.
Yeah, I think there's a pool there. So there's chlorine,
man.
so we're good. It kills everything.
Yeah.
If you, no, I'm not gonna say that. We're not gonna encourage people to pee in the pool.
No.
But yeah, that's gonna be a great time. We look forward to that. We're gonna do our podcast in the Ozarks, not this next podcast, but the one after that, episode 29. Yeah, shit, we're almost at 30.
Wow.
But I think that we should close out this. The short and sweaty podcast, Ryan. I want to say thank you to Gina's Designs of the Heartland. They provide us on our website awesome Nectar of the Gods signs made out of pine, straight from the Heartland. They're hand painted, handcrafted. They look phenomenal. They're about a beer, but they look classy enough to hang in your decor at your house.
Yep.
And that's what we love about them. Gina's Designs of the Heartland. You can check them out on their website at ginasdesignsoftheheartland.com, or on our website, you can order directly from us a Nectar of the Gods with our logo, YB logo, on our website. It goes well in your kitchen, in your living room, your bedroom, your bathroom, the garage, the man cave, you name it. It is going to look phenomenal in there. So head to one of those websites, order a Nectar of the Gods sign, and I promise that you will be rolling in absolute style. Ryan, I want you to take us home.
Guys, thanks again for listening into episode 27 of the You Betcha Radio podcast. Remember, all of the previous designs, all of our current designs are on the website, www.oubetcha.com. That's O with 2 H's, youbetcha.com. Go check it out. We keep one-upping our merch launch every single time.
Just keep adding.
So we just keep adding to
Just
it.
chipping away.
Yep. So go check it out on the website. Also, go check out the Dad's During Summer video at
a good one.
Betcha.
Yeah.
That's the videos we've been putting out lately are they're fire. They're as the kids would say, it's lit.
It's lit like the Jonas Brothers.
So episode 27, the short and sweaty podcast. I'm glistening right now. My Busch
Ryan,
Latte is
I can feel the heat coming off his body.
my Busch Latte is precipitating. Or no, condensating.
Condensating.
It's condensating right now. I'm about to go lay on the couch and try and 100%
Put a
get
fan
over the
right in your
sickness
face.
before I can go stand on another sandbar in 2 weeks at the Ozarks. I need to be fully recovered. My immune system is going to be just like through this roof.
Go drink some emergency.
Yep.
Everything you can.
Yep. So thanks again, guys, for listening. I am Ryan, the T-shirt guy.
And I'm Miles, the You Betcha guy. May your ranch always be runny. Your Busch Lattes forever be cold. Cheers. Ow. Oh my God, that's cold.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.